What's up and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'll be sharing with you my simple strawberry biscuit copycat recipe plus turning them into easy breakfast sandwiches. First thing we're going to do is mix together our dry ingredients. So grab yourself a large mixing bowl and add in your all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of kosher salt, and a 1/4 cup of sugar because we're trying to make sweet biscuits here. Now mix those all together very well. Grab yourself a cheese grater and you're going to grate 1 whole stick of frozen butter into your dry mixture. It's 2025 and I'm going to need to update my grater because this one took me a long time to grate that stick of butter. When you're done, your butter will look like this. Then take a fork or something to mix that butter into the dry ingredients just enough to break up that clump so that we have a nice even distribution of butter in our biscuits. I don't know if I said this already, but these are buttermilk biscuits, so you're going to need a cup of buttermilk. Take your buttermilk and add it a little bit at a time to your dry ingredients and mix until it forms a shaggy dough. We're doing it this way because this may just be that day where you go and pour all your liquid into your dry ingredients and you end up with biscuit soup instead of a nice shaggy dough. And now we can add in the star of the show, which is the strawberries. These are freeze dried because I tried it with fresh strawberries and turned into a sticky mushy mess, as you can see in Exhibit A. Depending on how fruity you want these biscuits to be, add in 1 to 1.5 cups of the strawberries and fold those in just until they're incorporated into the dough, and your dough should look something like this. Still loose, kind of like a big clump of wet floury stuff. Now it's time to bring this dough all together. So flour your surface and flour them hands, and then empty out all of the contents of the bowl onto your floured surface and make sure to get everything, including them little crumbs at the bottom, the little floury bits, put them in there too. Now you're just going to press everything together. Don't knead it. We're going to press everything together so that all of those mini pieces come together into one. The only thing that should be left on that cutting board, if there's anything left, is a little bit of flour that we sprinkled on there earlier. But the dough should end up looking just like this. I added on a little stick prevention flour to the top and to the rolling pin and rolled out the dough just wide enough so that we can do some book and fold, so we can try to get those layers that you like in biscuits. I did this 2 times, the roll and fold. Don't know why it's called a bookend. It's more like a trifold pamphlet. Was it just me that had to do these in school a bunch? Was that like the pinnacle of professionalism in writing, making documents? Trifolds? Okay, now that we've done that and it's rolled out, that's the final roll. Just get a biscuit cutter, flour it a little just to prevent some sticking, and cut out your biscuits. And don't worry about the excess dough that's left after you stamp out these perfect circles. Just fold that back together like we did earlier. Fold, roll it, and then I used a knife this time just to cut out some simple squares. Works either way, circles and squares. Grab your hefty, trusty cast iron skillet, make sure it's greased with some butter or some oil, and add in your biscuits. But wait, don't want to use a cast iron skillet? You can line or grease a baking sheet and use that as well. Make sure your oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Brush your biscuits with some egg wash or buttermilk and then bake them in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes until risen and golden brown. While those are baking, this is the perfect time to mix up the glaze that goes on top. So, a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, a tablespoon of milk, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice, and mix those together until the powdered sugar is fully dissolved. You can adjust the consistency if needed by adding a little more milk, but it should look like this. The biscuits are done. I would let them cool just a little bit before drizzling over the glaze onto each of those biscuits. So I always want to try the biscuits from y'all's favorite chicken place, but they always have them on the menu, but never in the restaurant location nearest me. So this was my answer to that issue. And guess what? They also make a good breakfast sandwich. So let's get into that. First thing, cook up some bacon. If you like beef, cook that. If you like pork, turkey bacon, veggie bacon, cook it, but have enough so that you can have 2 per sandwich. Now, for your eggs, I just did some simple seasoning, salt, pepper, paprika, and a little turmeric just because I wanted them to be yellow. The goal was to cook it how they do at the fast food restaurants, that folded egg, but cook your egg how you want, and then top it with your favorite type of cheese. Cut your biscuit in half, and then it's time to start building. Building is simple. Add the egg and then add 2 pieces of bacon onto the sandwich and then top it off with the top half of the biscuit. If you want to add other things, maybe some sausage, maybe some vegetables somehow, if you get a little spinach, maybe a little tomato, get creative. So now you can skip the hassle and the potential disappointment from the drive-thru and make these simple homemade strawberry biscuits at home, and you know how to turn them into a super easy breakfast option. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe down below for more recipes, and you can check me out on all of my other socials. Remember, cooking does not have to be that hard, so why don't you go ahead and get in the kitchen and make something. Yum yum.